Okay, guys, I'm going to walk you through how to do your project this week. You need to go into your Launchpad and click in your Google Slides, and some of you already, your Google apps, so you can get to Google Slides. So go to Google Drive, and a lot of you already know how to do this. Then you're going to click on the plus sign to make a new Google slideshow. Okay, so once you're in your Google Slides here, you can pick your theme that you want. So, for example, I picked this theme. However, I do not like the blue, so I'm going to go to I think it's background. Yes, background, and then I'm going to change my color to a color that I like, and you guys know I like purple, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to add to theme, and then done. So there's my new Google Slides personalized for me. I'm going to add my title, multiplicative, and additive. Or actually, let's change it to multiple representations. Of course, it's your project, so you can title it whatever you would like to. So multiple representation projects. I'm going to correct that, and then by Mrs. Thompson. All right. So okay, so here we have the one that I started, and if you click on the second slide, it says in your calendar that you need to write a verbal scenario that has an additive relationship. So I wrote one. You click to add your title. To insert a slide, you click on slide and insert new slide. And so that's what I did here for this one, and you type in what you're doing. So my additive relationship scenario, and here's my scenario. Bob likes squirrels. He has a farm for them. He had 12 squirrels but wanted some more, so he bought some from the squirrel store. So then I also wanted to insert a picture over here. So remember, you go into insert and then image and then search the web. And if you come over here, you see I've already searched squirrels. And there's all kinds of squirrels here that I could choose if I wanted to. I can add another one. You just click on it. You can also drag it and just insert it into your slide, and then you can size it however you want. So, and if you don't want it in there, then you just delete. So I already have my picture in there for that one. Now I am going to write my equation, my additive equation for this scenario. So it's y equals x plus 12. Okay, so on this slide I have my equation, which is y equals x plus 12, like I said before. And then on this side of the slide, I want to put in a table that is going to show the relationship between my x and y axis. So I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to insert a table. And this is going to be a 2 columns by, we'll say, 5. And here's my table. You see it's too big, so you come to the corner and you just shrink it down. And you can make this side bigger and stretch it out. And so now I'm going to insert my values into my table. Okay, so then I have my table inserted here. I'm going to close this out so I have more room on my screen. And now I need to start typing in my values into my table. Okay, so I'm going to enter my X and my Y right here. And then I'm going to enter here is going to be, right, so my X and my Y. My X value is going to be the new squirrel. And my Y value is going to be total squirrels. Oops, I spelled squirrels wrong. Okay, so then I'm going to enter my values. Now see, I don't like the way that this looks right here, so I'm going to click on the bar and scoot that up, and then click on this line and scoot that up. And then I want to make my values in here 1, 2, 3. Now I want to enter another row, so I'm just going to right click and do below, and then 4. And then if I'm adding, my x value is 1, so 1 plus 12 will give me 13. And then 2 plus 12 is 14. 3 plus 12 is 15. And 4 plus 12 is 16. So there are my values. Now, I don't like the way this looks. I think it's too big, so I'm going to shorten this down. Make these boxes a little bit smaller. I could even add more rows if I wanted to. It just kind of depends on how big you want your line graph to be, your line. Okay, so let me delete that. Oops, there we go, 1. So now I have my table. I'm going to adjust this. I'm going to highlight the whole thing, come up here. I'm going to put it all in the center. I like that a lot better. I'm going to make sure that everything's spelled right. I'm going to make this bold, so I highlight it and click on B. New squirrels, total squirrels. I can even change my font, highlight everything in there, and make it that font, and then make it bigger, and then adjust it however I like it. So there is my table and my relationship my relationship between the x and the y-axis, and our equation and our information in the table. Okay, so I'm going to insert an image because I want to make this a little bit snazzier. So I searched the web. I already had squirrels in the search bar, so I can just look for a picture that I'd like to put in there. And we can put that one in there. I'm going to drag and drop it over here. There we go. And then I'm going to resize it. I can put it right there. Perfect. I like it. So now I'm going to do a new slide. So I'm going to insert, no, I'm going to do slide, new slide. So here I have the slide. So now I don't want it to be this format. I'm going to change the layout, and I click on layout, and I'm going to do the title and the body. And in here, I'm going to do my multiplicative relationship scenario. So I wrote my multiplicative relationship scenario, and I want to change the font because I don't like this font. I'm just going to come in and change it to something else, make it a little bit bigger so easier to read for everyone. And have my, you can see I insert a picture, and it says Bob needs a lot of food to feed all these squirrels, so he bought 3 pounds of peanuts every day for a week. That's a lot of peanuts. All right, so now I'm going to insert a slide, new slide, changing the layout. I want it to look like this one. Okay, I'm going to change my title here to my equation, and it's going to be y equals 3x. Remember to put your number before your variable. And I'm going to change this font because I do not like the way that my y and my x look. It's kind of hard to see. So there, it's a capital Y. It should be a lowercase y. Perfect. Y equals 3x. And you can adjust it to the way that you like to see it. Make it a little bit smaller. There we go. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to delete this box. So I highlight it and then press delete. And I'm going to insert a table. And again, I'm going to make this one, we'll go 2 by 7. And I'm going to shrink it down to fit on that side of the screen. Type in my X value, Y. Okay, so my X value is going to be the days, and my Y value is going to be the pounds of food. Okay, and then after day 1, if we go 3 times 1, that's 3 pounds. And then day 2, 2 times 3 gives me 6 pounds. Day 3, 3 times 3 gives me 9 pounds. Day 4, 4 times 3 gives me 12 pounds. Day 5, 5 times 3 gives me 15 pounds, and so on and so on. Okay, and since I said that he buys food 3 pounds a day for a week, then I need to add 2 more rows here. So I'm going to highlight my last row and right click and insert a row below, and then do it again, right click, insert row below. So now I'm going to put 6 days, 6 times 3, he has 18 pounds of food, and then 7 days, 7 times 3, he's got 21 pounds of peanuts. And I'm going to shrink this down to make it fit on my screen. Highlight everything, whoops, highlight everything, and center it. And then I can change my font, make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to put this in bold. All right, and there I have my multiplicative table in relationships. Now I need to add a slide for my graphs because I need to plot these points on the graphs. I'm going to do a new slide, and I'm not going to use this layout, so I'm going to change the layout. I'm going to come to just maybe the title only and use that as a blank one for now. Okay, and so now this part is the part where we're going to make our actual line graph using our equation and our information from the additive table. You know what, I'm going to add in here that this is the additive equation so that I remember and I am sure of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy everything in here. So I have all this, I highlight it all, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy. Now I'm going to come over to my drive and do a new Google Sheet. Now I have this spreadsheet popped up. All I need to do right now, since I copied all that information from my slide, is right click and paste it all. And so here I have my information from my table. I can even, if I need to, just make this a little bit bigger so you can see everything. I can add 5 and 6 if I wanted to increase my my table bigger, so it was like 1 plus 12 is 13, 5 plus 12 is 17, and then this one is 18. Okay, so now all I need to do is highlight the values that I want to be included in my line graph, and I'm going to highlight them in blue, and then I'm going to insert, and I'm going to chart, insert chart. You gotta let it think, and there you go. There's my line graph, my chart, not my chart, my line graph. And if you go over here to customize, you can change your chart style. You can change the background color. Okay, you can do, I'm just going to do white, no background. Ooh, make sure it's a color. There we go. You can change the font that you want to use for it. You can change the border color if you want. I'm not going to mess with any of this. And then I'm going to click the down arrow. I can change my chart title. So if I wanted, here's my title right now. So if I wanted to change this to squirrels or lots of squirrels, I can. You can also change your font, the font size. If you want it bold, where you want it, you can put it in the center. You can change the color of it. You can really make this your own. It doesn't mess with the data. If you go to series, you can change the color of your line. You can change the type of line, but I would leave it as a solid line. It's up to you. You can change the point shapes. I would change the point shape so that you can see which one is. The size of the point shape, I can make them bigger, I can make them smaller. Okay, that is your series. That's what series is for. Even if you go into horizontal access, clicking on it, you can change that title, the font, the color. Also, vertical access, you can change the font, the color. You can also do it just by clicking on it. It'll take you to it, to whatever you want to change. Okay, so say this is what we like it, it's good. So now I'm going to go to these 3 little circles in the corner. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to copy chart. Okay, so now I've got my chart copied. I'm going to go back to my project and go to my slide right here, additive relationship graph. I'm going to, you can go edit, paste chart. You're going to paste unlink, and then you're going to paste it in, and there it is right there. There is your graph for you right there. So now I'm going to do the same thing for my multiplicative relationship. So I'm going to slide, new slide, click to add title. So I have y equals 3x, my multiplicative relationship graph. I'm going back to my data for that. And here's my data for my multiplicative. I'm going to highlight and copy all that information. Go back to my untitled spreadsheet. I can scroll down, paste it, okay? And then I'm going to highlight this all and go to Insert, Chart. And here you have your new chart for the pounds of peanuts and the days, your multiplicative relationship. So again, you can go through and change it however you want to. Click on the title, click on your graphs, your X and Y axis, change your points, you know, make it your own. So I'm going to change my points so that we can see them. Point shape, I'm going to do a pentagon. There we go. So then you can see them clearly. And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to copy it, go back to my representations page, and then edit, paste, and then paste unlinked and paste in there. And there is my multiplicative graph. And then the last thing we need to do is we need to kind of summarize our project, what we've done. So at your last spot, it needs to be summarized, comparing your additive and multiplicative graphs, kind of what's the difference between the two, how are they growing, which one grows faster. If you look at your lines for additive, this is not as steep as your multiplicative relationship. So kind of look at that as well. You know, just finish up your presentation and explain your findings. So I hope this helped you. I'm excited to see your projects.